Hello and welcome to my stream for the October 2023 solicitations. I'm going to be doing sorry, my audio probably just was really bad right then, but I'm going to be doing my reaction to the October 2023 solicitations, primarily using the DC Connect, which came out. These came out last Tuesday, so I'm really late, but this last week has been pretty crazy, so here we go. First off, we can definitely tell that DC is trying to sell us this Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. Now, we know this is a out-of-universe, alternate universe uh, from both the movie and from the main Justice League titles, because Superman's not married and they have different costumes. This cover by Dan Mora is clearly their big promotional thing. It looks really cool. It's written by Brian Buccellato, who did a bunch of Flash and Detective Comics with Francis Manapul, and also some Injustice after Tom Taylor left and before Tom Taylor came back. I'm not a huge fan of his writing, but I also don't dislike it. Art's by Christian Duce, and I love Christian Duce. It's really good. He did a great issue of The Flash, and he did a bunch of good issues of Batman and Robin Eternal. I think he did some issues of Batman Eternal, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But they're also trying to sell this roar sound effect. So, you know, those greeting cards where you open them and they make a noise? These are going to have a Godzilla roar and a King Kong roar, and you open them and they make that noise. And those are going to be $15. So they're going to be quite expensive. You have to really be into this, and you have to be really into this and also okay that it's completely out of continuity with anything, which I think is a mistake. I don't see how you could make it in continuity, but it feels completely disposable because it's not. So what else are they selling? They're selling Gotham War, which ends in October. So it starts in September, ends in October. They're selling this JSA miniseries with Alan Scott. They're selling Amazon's Attack, which I wish I knew if this was a miniseries or not. I hope it's a miniseries, but I'm afraid it's not going to be, because that just seems like a terrible idea. This is a Superman thing, and I think that's Superman 850. Yeah, I think that's Superman 850. They're doing a bunch of covers for that, and I'm excited. I might get in on that. I'm not buying Superman because I think it's overpriced, but I do really enjoy the title. And they're also selling a trade of Danger Street, Poison Ivy, and Teen Titans Go. Those are some odd choices to sell, but okay, here we go. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. They spend 1, 2, 3 pages on this, and we get some art here. It does look like really nice art. So let's zoom in to see Superman and Lois, and then Barry and Hal. Just that is really nice art, and as I said, I love Christian Duce, so that's great. Now we have Gotham War continues. So this is part 3. I want to say 3 of 6. It's the second Batman issue. Main cover by Jorge Jimenez, highlighting Batman versus Nightwing. What does the solicit says? On the ropes, father versus son, teacher versus student in fourth chapter. Oh, fourth chapter. So it's the Gotham War battle lines, Batman 137, Catwoman. Yes. Okay, so I'm very bad at math, but this is so Batman 138, then Catwoman, and then ending with the final big combined issue. Some people were pointing out that this is a lot less detailed than a lot of Jorge Jimenez's covers before. It is the same cover and colorist, Tomu More. I don't know what I think about that. Part of me thinks it's deliberate, and some people think he's working too hard, doing too many. We've got a Delano variant cover, a Frank Cho variant cover. That's very cool. Like seeing that. 1 in 25 by Kia Asama, and a 1 in 50 black and white variant of Frank Cho. I'm curious to know if those actually sell, and if they sell, why. But I don't like incentives. So here's Gotham War Part 5, and main cover by David Nakayama. Tirso Consferi. I don't recognize that name. Joshua Swaby. A lot of these aren't finished, which to me indicates that editorial needs to get on the ball. We got our Ryan Gonzalez 1 in 25. She moved over from Batgirls. And then we've got a 1 in 50 black and white variant of, who is that? I can't tell who that is. And then, so this is a tie-in. This is the end of the 2-part tie-in series about Jason Todd, written by Matthew Rosenberg, art by Nicolo Chismesija. I'm sure that's wrong, but I love his art. I really do. Covered by Carmine Di Giandomenico. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this miniseries. It does feel like DC doesn't really know what to do with Red Hood right now. Matthew Rosenberg basically has control over him and keeps putting him in projects, but he's not selling a book anymore. And then here's the finale. I'm tempted to buy this for the cover because it's kind of a diptych with Jorge Jimenez doing a cover for Superman 850 and Batman, Catwoman, Gotham War. It all depends on how I feel about it. It is going to be co-written. The solicits really don't tell us much because they want to keep the whole event kind of a secret. I will be very curious to see how this matches up with James Tynan's 2 events, Joker War and Fear State, and then how it matches up against Shadow War by Josh Williamson. I'm hoping it is better than Shadow War because I really didn't enjoy that. But the fact that Tini Howard is writing a bunch of it makes me very worried. Adam Hughes is drawing a variant cover. Kendrick Lim. Is that Salvador LaRocca doing that? And then a 1 in 50 by Simone Bianchi. A 1 in 100 black and white. That just seems ridiculous. And a foil cover for $2 more than cover price. So I'm definitely not getting the regular cover. This is a $6 comic, and it is 48 pages, which means there's probably about 39 or 38 pages of story content. $6. That's not too bad. If you consider, it'd be nicer if it was 44 pages, but I'm pretty sure there's at least 10 pages of ads. Detective Comics 1075. This continues the Batman versus the Asmer demon, and he's sort of trying to rely on Barbados to fight off, so a demon to fight a demon. And backups continue by Dan Waters, so that's exciting. I don't know. I don't dislike this Detective Comics run, but it's not exciting me. And the fact that they keep switching artists really frustrates me. This is art by Dustin Nguyen, so it'll look pretty cool, although probably be fairly sketchy because that's Dustin Nguyen's current style. I don't know. I'm interested to see because it does feel like there's some interesting stuff going on in Detective, but I'm also frustrated with a lot of stuff. Nightwing continues to be Nightwing. Art by Daniele Di Nicuolo, who is doing a lot of stuff with DC now. He's one of Tom Taylor's buddies from Australia, doing some indie stuff with him, and now he's doing a bunch of DC stuff. Batman and Robin #2. So this is Josh Williamson's book. They are still charging $5 for this, which really frustrates me. It feels like they are doing Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman and Robin for $5 without a backup or without it being expanded page count, which really irritates me. Now, we'll have to fact check me on the Wonder Woman because I know it's $5, but it might be continuing at the backup because it had backups before when it was a $5 book. So we'll see. But Superman doesn't have backups and it's a $5 book, and I'm pretty sure it's 22 pages, which really annoys me. And this also is 22 pages and is $5. New villain, Shush, which is female Hush. So maybe it's Shush. So Shush versus Hush. Start out as a joke. And Damien goes to school. So lots of interesting concepts here. Pushing Shush on the incentive variant, pushing the Robin Mobile, so Robin Jeep or four-wheel version as the 1 in 50, which is really cool, but I cannot justify that. And I don't even know if I'm going to jump on this series. It's really going to depend on if it feels like the Robin Josh Williamson or the Batman Josh Williamson, because Batman Josh Williamson had decent concepts but was very weak. But the Robin Josh Williamson was very strong, and I loved it. Here's Birds of Prey. Here's our main cover by Leonardo Romero, and lots of this text feels way too much like the Harley Quinn solicits, which I hate, which are just jokes, and I don't like that. The fact that Harley Quinn is on this team still really angers me, because Harley Quinn tanked the Birds of Prey for 2 years, and it feels like she's going to do that. Now, maybe this is great. I'm not saying it can't be great, but conceptually, it really angers me that they knew this would piss people off, and they did it anyway when they didn't have to. There's only one person on this team who's been a regular member, and Big Barda was a rotating member, and I love her being on the Birds, but we'll see. I am willing to give this a try, but I'm not excited, and that disappoints me because I would like to be excited about Birds of Prey because it was one of my first comic loves. Batman the Brave and the Bold, Guillaume March writes and draws, which he's been doing for a while. So this is unlike a bunch of the other things that I have been hesitant or outright just not impressed by with writers becoming artists. We've got more Stormwatch from Ed Brisson. We've got Rob Williams returning to Suicide Squad stuff and Black and White. So they're doing interesting things. I still think this should be so this is an $8 book. I think this should be a $6 book. It should be 40 pages. It should have 3 stories. The story should be anywhere from 10 to 15 pages each. No story should be 20 pages. I think $8 is too much, and I really dislike how long the stories are. If you're doing an anthology, I feel this concept already failed once with Urban Legends. This feels like exactly the same thing, but with more team-ups. I'm clearly not the audience for this book, so you could ignore me, and DC clearly is. The Penguin continues. This is clearly a sequel to Batman Killing Time, which I enjoyed. It has Rafael de la Torre, who did great stuff on Iron Man back in like 2006. That was a long time ago. I haven't seen his stuff much since then, but I do like it. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping it's not too nihilistic, because Killing Time did tend to be nihilistic, but it did also have some really good stuff. So we'll see. Harley Quinn, I'm not reading. Poison Ivy, I'm not reading. The New Golden Age. So this is the JSA stuff. They think that New Golden Age sells better than JSA. So here is Sandman by Robert Venditti and Riley Rossmo. I am on board for this because I have loved most of what Robert Venditti is doing, especially when it comes to things like the JSA. I wish that they would let Robert Venditti do JSA, except that Robert Venditti unfortunately doesn't seem to sell very well. And Jeff Johns does. So that's the thing. Rob Venditti can keep a schedule, though. Riley Rossmo, not a big fan of him on Tim Drake, but I do like his art, and I think that this is a perfect concept for him because he's great with those like wacky just shapes, and it's just like this is the kind of thing that I think Riley Rossmo excels at. He's just wacky and exaggerated and cartoony, and I think that is awesome. So I think this is a good fit. And Wesley Don Sandman is a big part of Night Terrors right now, so I think that's going to connect to this. So that's exciting. The Jay Garrick, The Flash by Jeremy Adams, art by Diego Orlo Tegui. I don't know this artist, but of course I do love Jeremy Adams, and this is probably going to be a continuation of some of the stuff he was doing in The Flash. Unfortunately not with Wally, but does have that family aspect, and I am almost certainly going to get this Sarah Acuna variant cover with Jay giving his daughter the hat. That's just so great. there's just so much warm feeling that, and I like this Jorge Corona main cover, but like, oh my goodness, that variant just it touches my heart right away. And here's the third of the 3 miniseries. They're doing Alan Scott the Green Lantern, written by Tim Sheridan, art by Jiang Tormey. Could be good. I've not been impressed with Tim Sheridan, but he seems like a friendly enough guy. Amazon Attack. This doesn't say miniseries. This is a $4 book, so that's not too bad. Written by Josie Campbell. I'm kind of half and half on her. Vasco Georgiev, and he is doing a ton of covers, especially for Wayne Family Adventures, so that's interesting. So here's Wonder Woman. Interesting that they're doing the full page for Amazon's Attack as a launch, but only a half page for Wonder Woman, although that's probably better than Wonder Woman was getting like quarter pages before. We'll have to see where Superman is. We haven't seen Superman yet. They've been doing such a big push for Superman, but he's gotten pushed so far down because of Gotham War, and I don't know why. Batman and Robin, was that a full pager? I don't know. So this does have a backup, so that's fair. I hope it keeps having a backup or being oversized, because I really dislike the 22 pages for $5. That offends me. Even though I can understand the argument for inflation, but inflation hurts everybody, including the customer. And if you do that, you are suppressing your numbers of people who are buying and reading this stuff. Flash by Cy Spurrier and Mike Diodato Jr. Definitely see that horror. There is a new character, The Stillness. Sounds like the Still Force. I really don't like Cy Spurrier as a writer. I was not super impressed with his story. It was fine. It was very artistic. I liked the paneling and the storytelling. I loved Jeremy Adams' Flash because it showed how you could do a married, heroic father with a wife and children who were major elements of the story without being like, it wasn't about how Wally needed his family to rescue him. He was still the hero. He was the trainer, the mentor, and the leader. But his family were like, this is how I wanted them to write Spider-Man, married to Mary Jane, and preferably with some kids, May and Ben. But I will give this a chance, but I'm not excited about it, and I'm mad because Adams could have kept going for a year at least with the story material he developed. And yes, okay, so Superman gets a whole page, let's see, how many pages does he get? Superman gets a page and a half. So here is the main cover by Jamal Campbell, who is the main artist, but it looks like art inside is going to be Gleb Melnikov and Dan Jurgens. This is an oversized issue, so probably Jamal Campbell didn't have time to do the whole oversized. $6 cover, Jim Lee Icon series. That is okay. So it's foil, so that's why it is $10. Let's see, the Jorge Jimenez. Where is it? Oh, it's Action Comics. Oh, right. I might get Action. So even though the backup by Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks is coming to an end in 1057, I may get the Jimenez variant for 1058 because I just love that, and the diptych with Gotham War. It's really going to depend on how I am liking it. I mean, that's such a... It's just the way it is. So it says... So this is the second issue after we get back from Night Terrors, and Superman's fighting the Change, who's this new like doomsday level threat. I don't know. This is exciting. Superman has been really good. I'm just really mad about the way they have handled the whole situation in terms of pricing. The book itself is really high quality. So Action Comics, I am planning to drop the book, although I may keep it for just this one more month because I just love that Jorge cover, and I've liked the interior story. I am 100% serious when I say I was buying the book for the backup by Weeks and Jurgens and Breitweiser. Just such phenomenal artistry and really fun storytelling. And I don't like Gene Luen Yang, and I don't know Greg Hahn. And Philip Kennedy Johnson is fine, but he's not a draw for me in terms of I really want to buy the book. So we'll see. Mariko Tamaki returns to Supergirl. So actually, even though they have Superman so late, we're almost halfway through the magazine. They are still doing a huge Superman push. Now, this is a one shot. And its main continuity, whereas Supergirl being Super was, of course, its own universe, similar to the Teen Titans by Cami Garcia series, which is great. I don't know. This is just really interesting. I'm intrigued. I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't get Tamaki to do Supergirl backups in action instead and launch an ongoing or miniseries instead of the Power Girl by Leah Williams. Because I think Tamaki's a better writer. Mark Wade is doing Kingdom Come stuff in World's Finest. Don't care. Power Girl, Shazam, not reading, Steelworks. This is a miniseries. I really should read it. I'm at this point. I kind of feel like I should just, kind of feel like I should trade weight at this point because I'm so far behind. Hot Girl. I tried the first issue. It wasn't really my thing. Not reading Titans. Not reading Cyborg. Not reading Teen Titans of any kind. I am reading Green Lanterns. Let's take a look. Guest starring The Flash. So this is specifically Barry, because you can see his eyes, because Wally has the white eyes, and that's like the thing that sets him apart. I'm definitely getting this cover because I like these variants, but oh man, that's so much fun. And it's by the main artist. Art by Zermanico. David LaFuente doing the backup. Peter Tomasi doing the backup, which is a big disappointment because I really dislike Peter Tomasi as a writer. And it's a prelude to a mini series or series called The Sinister Sons. So this is interesting. I don't know. I don't really care about any Green Lantern stuff. I dislike Peter Tomasi. I am buying this for Jeremy Adams. So that's just what I'm doing. And like I buy Action Comics for Dan Jurgens and Lee Weeks. You make these choices when you make your pull list. Green Lantern War Journal. This is spinning out of Green Lantern's backups by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Blue Beetle, ongoing, continuing. Looks like they still got the main cover. And Fire and Ice, I guess, starring Ambush Book. This series is a mini series. I kind of wish it were the ongoing instead of. I bought the pilot issue in the Power Girl special. Really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to this. I'm hoping it's more of an adventure than a slice of life. I like slice of life, but I don't trust most writers to do slice of life well. So I want more adventure. The Smallwood variant. Smallwood has a lot of experience with Fire and Ice now after doing Human Target. Is pretty fun. I do like that. So I'm looking forward to Fire and Ice Smallville. I'm hoping it's fun. I liked the pilot. Green Arrow continues, and Sean Isaac and Phil Hester. So Phil Hester's returning to Green Lantern. I'm behind. I really like this variant splicing Green Arrow and Black Canary. That's a really cool design with the Sonic Stream and a target being meshed together. I don't know. I don't dislike this book. I don't feel compelled to keep up with it, which disappoints me because I wanted to be excited about the Green Arrow finally being back after like 3-4 years of no title. Doom Patrol, not reading. Aquaman. So this is a movie special, similar to the way they did the Shazam 2 movie special. And they did a Black Adam miniseries. And I bought the Shazam and Black Adam ones. I don't know if I'm going to buy this one because I loved Aquaman more than those other movies, but I'm worried about what they're going to do with the new one. On the other hand, this is only $7. which is better than the $10 that they charge for the other ones. And let's see, they were $5, so I spent $20 on the Black Adam and $10 on the Shazam 2. So $7, actually, I might just get it because I like it. If that's the case, what are the main cover? Main cover is Ivan Reis, who has classic Aquaman connections. Variant cover by Jim Chung and Balin Ortega. That Chung looks cool. I might get that main cover because of the Ivan Reis connection to Aquaman, though. What is this? Oh, Return of Superman 30th Anniversary. So I'm definitely getting this. I'm tempted to go for the Dan Jurgens cover just because I love Dan Jurgens and it's got all the dudes. They're doing variants for like each one of the covers too. Each one of the Superman, Reign of the Supermen. So there's 4 dudes. Might get the foil variant too because it's only $1 more. This is going to be a $10 book for 80 pages, which is not the best price, but it's a decent price. And getting $11 for the foil version might be worth it. I do like foil a lot. And this, of course, will probably be the continuation of the story that started with the death of Superman 30th anniversary and continued in the backups with Dan Jurgens. And it said this is like present day instead of past flashbacks. Well, we'll see. We will see. I am excited about this. Definitely getting it. Oh, here's the variant. So they're spending 2 pages on this 30th anniversary. So this one didn't get a ton of press. They did a bunch of press at San Diego Comic-Con for a new series. This one didn't get a panel, didn't get anything. Christian Ward is writing and drawing a sort of Cthulhu / Court of Owls horror Batman book. I am not excited, but I'll give it a try. Some of the interior art definitely looks trippy as they promise, and I'm not excited about that. So here's collected editions. Let's see. More collected editions, facsimile editions. Here are the webtoons. So this is volume 3 going to 20 to 28. They're doing so few. I don't understand why they're doing so few per book. Maybe they couldn't figure out how to shrink it and they had to put that on the page size. I don't know. This is volume 2, 12 to 23. So that's moving a little faster. Still feels a bit slow. I enjoyed Vixen. I didn't read all of it, but I enjoyed it. I did not enjoy Zatanna, unfortunately. I love Wayne Family Adventures. I am enjoying Red Hood Outlaw. Teen Titans Go. This is by Franco and Art Baltazar, who I got a chance to meet at Chicago's C2E2, and that was fun. They were very nice. And here are our quarter pages. So we've got Batman Beyond, which is an ongoing, so I believe. I don't like this Catboy thing. That just feels icky. Generation Joker wraps up. City Boy wraps up. Danger Street is still going. Harley Quinn, Black, White, and Redder is a miniseries, and that's going to keep going. JSA will probably not come out because it keeps not coming out. Peacemaker tries hard not reading. Spirit World wraps up. Superman Lost, so 7, so out of 10. Montos Incentive variant cover by Lee Weeks, which we don't have a picture of yet, but I do like this Carlo Pagulayan one. Probably going to be colored, but maybe not. That is the white versus black Lex. Very cool. Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing. This feels like it's coming to an end soon. We'll see about that. It feels like it is, but Vigil's ending up. Waller versus Wildstorm. Some more collected stuff. Ooh, Batman Eternal. I wonder what's new about this Batman Eternal omnibus, because it's a 2023 edition, so it feels like it's different than the previous one, but I don't know why. More trades, lots of trades. Ooh, Kyle Rayner compendium, so not an omnibus, but it's omnibus size, but soft cover, so cheaper, which is nice. So many trades. So that was it. Oh, interesting. Our Spotlight. So Action Comics and Wonder Woman are a connecting variant by Gabriel Dell'Otto. I do really like Gabriel Dell'Otto, but he's not one of the artists I tend to collect for him. But if you do, this is a month where you're going to spend a lot of money if you aren't already buying all these guys. So, very cool. And of course, a Blue Beetle movie advertisement. So that wraps up my Solicitations reaction. I feel like I am planning to get less, buy fewer titles, but still a fair number of things I'm excited about. Unfortunately, most of them tend to be miniseries, which worries me. I hope that DC can get me on board with one of their ongoing titles soon, because I'm jumping off a bunch of them. And hopefully Green Lantern continues to be really exciting and continues to be a book that I'm willing to stay with. So thanks for watching, and thanks for reading DC Comics.